up, everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and it's time for another why you don't need video, or do you really need. I'm trying to decide which one I want to make this, because this is a whole collection of palettes, and since it's like 4 palettes in the collection, I want to try to do 4 eye looks just to tell you you don't need and see what the colors look like against other colors. So I'm thinking this is going to be a do you really need, and what it is, do you really need the floral collection from Beaute. So I feel like it's a lot of colors that are really similar. There's only one palette that is somewhat unique, and I feel like if I dug in my collection enough, I could find one. Here's what it looks like. Let me just go ahead and scroll while we, here. But yeah, so these are the 4 palettes. Obviously, this is the only one I feel like is really unique. I feel like all the other ones we all already have in our collection. Who doesn't have cool tone palette? Who doesn't have this yellowish tone color? I feel like these two especially you can easily get from ColourPop. I'll show you in a second. And then of course ColourPop has how many purple palettes? They just came out with a purple palette. So the only unique one to me is that one. And that should be the first one in this spread from what I remember. I think it was the first one that it showed when it came to the palettes. But yeah, so see, it has that unique greenish shifting shade. But I feel like with a couple of palettes combined that you already own, you can probably come up with that one too. But I'm just like, I don't feel like you need this collection of palettes. So I figured I would show you the ones I have in my collection to offset you buying these, just because it's not really a necessity. Now I feel bad because I'm like, I love Beaute, and if they go on a good sale, like the whole collection, I would still most likely buy it because I love their new formula and the fact that they listened to their customer base when they said they wanted something different and went ahead and came out with something different. So I'm gonna start off with the little yellow one to show you why you don't need. This is actually a why you don't need right now on my eyes. Oh God, I did not mean to do that to my lip. Hold please, so I get my life in order. Okay, lips still look good even though I made a little smudge. But yeah, so I'm gonna start off with the Floral palette. That's the little yellow one. So I have 2 options for you right here. Now please keep in mind I did recreate my little Ray of Sunshine palette, so yours isn't gonna look exactly the same as mine because I added some shimmers to it because there were no shimmers in this palette. I don't think I added too much. Yeah, I literally just added 2 shimmers to this palette, so these 2 shimmers right here are it. But otherwise, I mean, I feel like the color story is pretty similar to this palette. Let me see if I can find an individual picture of the palette, because they just have it set up as a bundle. They don't show it individually. Oh wait, no, here it is. So here it is up against my palette. I'll close up on it so you can see. See, the only difference is I think it has like a little bit of a deeper red and like a green shimmer, but if you're not necessarily looking for those, like this is pretty much the same palette, and I don't feel like you need it. And then if you really do want the green shimmer, I have the Sparkling Pineapple from Too Faced from a while ago, and as you can see, it has the greens. It has more brown to it though, like you don't have the yellow, and then like the green shade actually is like a blue brown shifting shade, so it's not necessarily green. But again, I feel like this is just really similar to this palette right here, so I feel like you don't really need to get it. Like you don't, it's not a need, I just feel like this isn't a need because they look really similar in my personal opinion, and you don't need to get that palette. So I have this one and this one to keep me content, and I didn't really want the yellow palette. The only one I wanted was the purple one, just because I love purples, and then like the unique colored one, and I feel like it's not like super unique, but I feel like if I get it, I'd be happy with it, because Beaute does have really nice purple palettes. So we're gonna move on to the next one, which is the purple palette. So we're gonna move on to this palette now, the Floral, I believe that's how you say it, like the Fleur de Lis. That's what it looks like. And since they already have a purple palette themselves, when I do get it, of course, I'm going to do a 5 palettes to do themselves. Because, like, you already got a purple palette. You came out with this purple palette. I feel like this one's supposed to be a little more wine tone, though. And the other one they originally came out with was truly deep, dark purples. But I have the Razzle Dazzle Berry palette from Too Faced, and it still smells like raspberry when I open it. I've had it for quite a while, so this is what she looks like. As y'all saw, that one has more deep purples to it. I feel like this is your range from light to deep purple, so if you prefer a more light to deep purple range and not a true monochromatic moment, I think you would prefer this one. I'm sure you can still find it on Mercari somewhere if you're interested in it, or if you already have it in your collection, then you might not feel the need to get this other one unless you just want some deeper purples. And they're Fall in Paradise, which is their deep purple palette, is actually on sale right now for like $10, so it's like, it might be a better deal, because that one's, the new one is 20 and like the older one is 10, and it's the new formula of the older one, because I think they're just discontinuing that collection. Don't quote me though. And then I have, of course, the Wine palette from Glamlite, and I feel like this is definitely a great alternative to that one, and it gives you more shades in it, and it gives you that light to dark gradient. And y'all know, like, where's the shade that I love so much? is this one right here. I love this unique bluish purplish type or blurplish shade right here. I love that so much. So I feel like this would be a good alternative for you as well, because it gives you the berry tones and it gives you like deeper purples and gives you unique purples in addition to shimmers, whereas the other one just reminds me more of like kind of It's My Pleasure, if you will. Hold on, let me grab that so I can show it to you real quick too. Not to mention the one from the other Glamlite palette, you know, the Hershey Kisses one. Let me grab those real quick. So I have those two. So you got It's My Pleasure. So the purple one I knew I was gonna be able to dupe the easiest. So if I do look, I'd probably do one with the purple one. So this is the It's My Pleasure. I feel like again has some light and deep tones. Now it doesn't have as many deep tones as that one does, but you know, it still has light to deeps, and it's a great purple palette. And these go on sale a lot for $9 a piece. So for $9, I feel like it'd be a great alternative for you. But like I said, their purple palette is currently on sale for $10. I don't know if it'll still be on sale when this video goes up. I'm trying to get it up this week though, so hopefully it still will be. And then you got the special darks from Hershey's, and people have been finding these at TJ Maxx for I think like $7.99 and stuff. So again, that'll be a good deal for you, and it has a lot of deep to light purple range just like this palette does. So I really love this deep purple right here. This is my favorite out of this whole palette. This one in this unique shade right here. I wish they had gave more lighter shimmers, but you know, I still feel like this is a nice little color story. And since you can find it at TJ Maxx at a reasonable price, I definitely think this could be a good alternative for you as well. So it's not necessarily a necessity, the purple one. I don't think any of these are a necessity, to be perfectly honest. And then the last one you have is the Collab palette, which is just a cool tone palette with a pop of like gold in it. My personal opinion, I have lots of similar palettes to it. So, well, not lots, but I have some similar palettes to it. So I'm gonna start off with the one I recreated. I recreated my That's Taupe palette from ColourPop. So I included a black in it, and I just kept a lot of the shimmers that were already in here and just took out a couple of the lighter shades that didn't necessarily work for my skin tone when I needed transition shades. So this is my alternative to it personally for myself, but you know, it doesn't look exact to this palette right here, but I mean, it'll do for me, and I recreated it, especially designed it for me. So of course I think it works. And then I have the Chocolate Martini here. Now this one isn't going to be exact either, because it doesn't have the super deep blackish dark shade in here that this one does, but it does have some similar tones. Like it has lots of browns and lots of neutrals, and I feel like this is a nice neutral palette with a twist, if you will, for people like me who don't necessarily like neutrals. But you know, I can appreciate that this neutral palette does have a twist to it. So these are the two I had to show you automatically. I don't really own that many neutral palettes. I guess I could show y'all that 5-pan from Mother that she came out with in the holiday collection, because I keep both of those here. If I remember correctly, let me open the drawer and grab that real quick. So we have another alternative. Is this it? Nude Allure. No, it's called something Bliss. So I think it might not be here. It's supposed to be. Oh, there it is. I was about to say I stuck it in the wrong spot, y'all. Sorry. Because I'm like, I knew I had the palette here. No, that's not it. Yeah, so this one, the Bronze Blitz, I feel like it could be a good alternative for it as well. You can find this at TJ Maxx, and we all know Mother's quality is amazing. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, it does have a lot of shimmers, but it does have that black shade. So you might not necessarily like this one because it doesn't have a lot of neutrals, but if you're a person who has a lot of neutrals, I feel like it could be a good alternative to that, because you'll already have all your transition shades. And if you just need the black and you want to try some spectacular shimmers, Mother is definitely the way to go. So I just wanted to show some alternatives in my collection. I probably have some more neutrals that I just didn't think about, because I wasn't too invested in the neutral palette, to be honest. I was more about like the colorful ones, because we know I live for color. So I just want to show you that there are alternatives out there, and there might be alternatives you already have in your collection, so you don't need to rush out and buy this collection. Now I'm still probably gonna buy the unique shaded palette. Did I show y'all the one palette I had for that one? I don't think I did. So I have one palette that has like the lighter side of the palette to it, but it doesn't have like the deeper greens and that on the other side. And it's the Papaya palette, the Papaya Pop eyeshadow palette. So this is what she looks like. As you can see, she has the purples and some of those lighter tones that are on this end of the palette. So the lighter tones on this end of the palette are mainly what I'm showing you when I show you the Papaya one, see, because it has the lighter purples and the pinkish shades. I just didn't pull the greens and like the deeper purples on that side. But if you want the lighter end of the palette and wasn't necessarily concerned about the deeper side, then this is actually a dual chrome shifting shadow as well. So I know some people might still have these in their collection. To me, these are some of the best Too Faced palettes, and I'm so upset they got rid of them. But those are all the palettes I had to show you in this edition of do you really need, or why you don't need. This is probably gonna be a do you really need, because I just don't feel like trying to do 4 eye looks with these 4 palettes. But yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. I just wanted to show you that you don't have to necessarily run out and get all the new palettes. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you're all the diamonds, and let me know down below, do you plan on getting any of them? Because the only one I really plan on getting is the last one I just showed you, most likely. And that's if it goes on a good deal. If it goes like for $10-12, then I'll probably go ahead and buy it and try it out, because I know Ace Beaute's formula is better than the original formula they came out with. But I just don't feel the need to rush out and getting these palettes, because all of them are really similar to stuff I already own, and I just don't think it's worth the investment for me. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.